who are needing updates. You guys, I give you plenty of time, maybe too much time.
It's 4 o'clock. We'll go ahead and start this January 26th special meeting of the Salina City Commission. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Peck.
Here.
Commissioner Angel. Here. Commissioner Jennings.
Here.
Commissioner Larson.
Here.
Would you please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Move on to administration business.
Item 3.1, City Commission vacancy appointment.
Accept a motion for this.
Mayor, I move that we appoint John K. Veneer II to fill the vacancy of Commissioner Tom Arpke, who was elected to the House of Representatives.
Second.
So, very quickly, should I have any public comment on this, or does it really matter at this point, Greg?
I'd say this one is up to you all.
Okay, we'll go on here. It's been moved and seconded that we appoint John Veneer to fill Tom Arpke's vacancy on the City Commission. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes 4-0.
Mayor, I move to recess into executive session for 10 minutes to discuss confidential data relating to the financial affairs and trade secrets of a corporation for the reason that public discussion of the information would competitively disadvantage the corporation, and reconvene at 4:10 p.m.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we recess into executive session for 10 minutes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Do we expect any action?
Mayor, this is related to item 3.3 on the agenda, so we would expect action when we're finished.
We're in executive session. We've reconvened from our executive session, and we'll move on to item 3.3.
Consider an incentive request from Phillips Lighting Company.
Mr. Gage.
Yes, Mayor and Commissioners, we have in front of you an SCDIC sales tax and economic development sales tax request from Phillips Lighting Company. They are looking to compete within their company for a project known as Project Joy. This project would add up to 50 production jobs and up to $5 million in capital investment, primarily equipment. The wage level for the project for these jobs would be approximately $22.60 per hour plus benefits, and that's in the range of about $47,000 per year. That's significantly higher than the Saline County average for similar type jobs in the area. Total estimated payroll for a year would be about $2.35 million. And they have requested up to $750,000 in SCDIC economic development grant funds that would help position them for the approval of this to add those jobs and to leverage the equipment to support those jobs and the function that they would be providing with those within their company. Overall, we think Phillips has been a real solid company for Salina. They're known worldwide as one of the more efficient companies. So, when they make an investment, they've really thought through the math of the investment. And so it's a real positive sign for Salina of how they're investing in this facility here. And quite honestly, most manufacturing companies around the world are consolidating their functions and so forth. So this is a really good sign for us with this company. We had to throw this at you really quickly. And I want to talk about that because it's important. Normally we have a little bit more time. And this has been a project like many that, there are steps along the way and discussions along the way with staff and the staff of the company requesting and other parties that may be involved. And so this one has been in the works for a while, but quite honestly, it was just late last week where they said, hey, we do need to have a formal commitment from the city on the grant funds by the end of the month in order for this to work. So we kind of had it thrown at us real quick, and so we had to move pretty fast, and that was one of the reasons for the special meeting as well. And we were still working on the reports this morning and really up until about noon, just so you know, we weren't holding on to it. If this is authorized, the funds would come from the SCDIC Economic Development allocation of the city sales tax. Right now, the unencumbered balance there is a little over $921,000, and the up to $750 would be, you'll see in your agreement, is contingent upon the number of jobs. It's related to the jobs. It'll be paid out over 3 years, so no more than 1/3 would be paid out in any given year. So it'd be proportionate to jobs, but no more than 1/3 in year 1, 2/3 in year 2, and then they finish out in year 3. And that's real important. And part of that is some reporting where they'll report by an affidavit of the jobs that are added, that they meet the salary requirements, and also of the retention of prior year jobs. So when you're into year 2 and year 3, you want to be sure that year 1 and then year 2 were still there at those wage levels. And so that's part of what they'll report. So we think that fits pretty well with what you'd like to do with these funds. Basically, we have for you a couple options. Obviously, approval of this action to approve the grant to Phillips Lighting in an amount not to exceed $750,000 for Project Joy, and it is specific to Project Joy. That's important to know, which commits funding to incentivize the addition of employment and assist them in leveraging equipment and facility renovations that they need to expand their operation and sustain that employment for that project. And then the other option would obviously be not to do that at this time. Talked about the timing. The SCDIC group has had access to this, although we did not have the opportunity because of the timing to run the formal recommendation on the final request to them. I want to make sure that you're aware of that. But staff has reviewed this in light of the resolution, which is our guiding document for these decisions, and that's Resolution 09-6608, and it clearly falls under that for you, so there's no questions about that. So with that, staff would recommend alternative 1, and be happy to answer any questions you have. And also, Dennis Laver with the Salina Area Chamber of Commerce is here if you have any questions for him.
Thank you. For questions of staff for Mr. Laver? Okay. Is there any public comment? I'll tell you what, if you'd come up and come up to the podium here and state your name and your address, please.
That's just a question. What's an SDIEC? My name is Doug Sartori, and what did you ask for?
Just name and address.
Okay. I live at 415 Montrose Street.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. Sartor. I can answer your question for you if you'd like.
SDIEC, I think.
SEDIC is the lettering we use for the Salina Economic Development Incentives Council, and what it is, it's a committee that's appointed by the City Commission specifically to address these economic development type requests.
Okay. Thank you.
Bet.
Welcome.
Are there further questions or public comment? Okay. There's no further questions or comment from the commission. I'll accept a motion.
Mayor, I move that we approve the Phillips Lighting grant agreement in an amount not to exceed $750,000 for Project Joy, which commits funding to incentivize the addition of employment and assist them in leveraging equipment and facility renovations necessary to expand their operations and sustain the projected employment for Project Joy.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the Phillips Lighting grant agreement in an amount not to exceed $750,000 for Project Joy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes 4-0. Is there any further business? Okay. If not, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes 4-0. We're adjourned. Never hear Norma's vote. Well, I can't. For some reason, it never comes across, and I keep on hesitating, thinking.